Let's talk about some of the top questions that sellers like you often have about listing and selling your home. The first question that I get is, what's my home worth? And that's where you're working with your realtor. I'm going to provide a comparative market analysis for you that's going to look at other home sales in your area and compare them to your home. Then we come up with our list price and our listing strategy. Second question is, how can I prepare my home for sale? And that is very crucial, especially in today's market. Buyers are a lot more picky than they were in 2021 and the first part of 2022. So we've got to make sure that we properly prepare your home for sale. That can mean decluttering, that can mean doing some landscaping, that can mean giving the exterior a good clean, because you want curb appeal. That's the first thing the buyer's going to see, and you want to make sure that it leaves a good impression. So that's part of the process, is finding out what you need to do specifically to get your home ready to sell. The next question I get asked often are, well, what are my costs involved in selling? I'll talk about hiring a professional photographer for the photos, and sellers think they have to pay for that. I've never asked a seller to pay for the photos. I always pay for that up front. The main cost that a seller is going to incur is if they do need to pay for some preparations to be done, such as somebody to come and pressure wash or do a deep clean or maybe paint a room, the seller will incur those costs. But when we actually get to the closing table, your costs are going to be pretty minimal. You're going to pay the commission, obviously. You're going to pay a closing fee to the title company. You're going to pay for the warranty deed preparation. That also goes to the title company. If you want your money wired into your bank account, then they are going to charge you a wire fee for that. And then typically prorating the taxes and HOA fees, if you have any, those are going to be the closing costs that you incur. Now, you may have negotiated to pay the buyer's closing costs during the sale. If so, that would be another cost. So whenever we're listing your home, I'm happy to prepare a net sheet for you, and then we just have to adjust based on what we end up accepting for the property, and if you do end up paying some closing costs for the buyer. So let's talk about timing. How long does it take to get your home sold? Well, what I can tell you is that in Hamlin County, for the month of August 2023, the average days on market was around 30, and the median time on the market was about 11 and a half days. So if you prepare your home properly, you price your home properly, then typically you're going to go under contract within 2 to 4 weeks time, depending on the price of your home and so on. The last question I get a lot is, how do I handle offers? What happens if we go into a multiple offer situation? And obviously you want a multiple offer situation because that's probably going to net you the most amount of money and the best terms that you could possibly get, right? So when we start getting offers, it's going to depend on what the offer is. If we get an initial offer in and it's $20K below list price, asking for $10K in closing costs, we're probably not going to go out of our way to negotiate with that particular buyer. But what I like to do is list my residential homes on a Friday so that if it's going to appeal to an out-of-state buyer, we can get multiple offers in over the weekend. So I will help you when the time comes to figure out, do we need to send out a multiple offer notification? Do we need to just pick one offer and work with it? And we'll go from there. Every situation is going to be different, so there's no pat answer as to how do we handle that situation. So if you're thinking about selling, I'm here to help guide you every step of the way. If you're ready to sell, send me a DM, leave a comment below, and I'd love to reach out and help you achieve your real estate goals.